Hello and welcome. My name is Rajiv. I'm here with Vignesh. This is Chennai Live's Garage 101. First of all, thank you so much for all the support and the time that you guys have spent watching our previous episodes. It's incredibly encouraging for us, and that is why we felt that we should answer some questions for people.
Hi Garage 101. I'm Abhinand and my question is about car leasing. I see so many ads these days from Maruti, Hyundai and Mercedes about car leasing. Is there really an advantage or are there any loopholes associated with it? Thank you.
I'm in the buying space, so that leasing I think is it's your cup of tea because you have more, you will be able to give more inputs on this.
Okay, so here's what I think. Okay, first of all, I want to tell you what a brilliant question this is because it is incredibly more subjective than the previous question. Let me tell you why. I'm going to answer your question with my own questions, and hopefully because of my questions, it might just give you kind of realization as to what you actually need. So your question was, why lease? Can I lease a car instead of buy a car? Here's my first question. How long are you planning to keep the car?
Makes sense.
Okay.
Correct. Yeah.
So you want to decide how long you want to keep the car. Because if you're the kind of person who says, you know what, this is my car and this is my treasure and all of that, I want to keep it at least for 10 years, forget about the leasing bit because you're going to end up spending double. So let me give you an example. Hyundai started
I don't
their,
think even leasing companies would let you have cars for 10 years.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So, ALD Automotive has signed up a deal with Hyundai and they've started a leasing service. So Hyundai started leasing service. For example, you would have to spend 16,000 without GST for a Creta. I'm not sure exactly if it's going to be the top end model, but for a Creta, you'll have to spend 16,589 rupees exactly from their website. I took it and came just for you. All right. Now you'll have to spend that money every month. Car's not going to be yours. And I will get into the details later, but that's the amount just to get you ready for it. So how long are you planning to keep it?
Just to add to this, Rajiv, GST on a new car, let's take the Creta for example, is 28%, and by GST we mean GST and cess. So cess on a Hyundai Creta is going to be 17%. So it's 45% in total, right? So you're looking at the base lease price plus 45% of that lease price into say 4 or 5 years of ownership of using the vehicle. So I think it makes sense. Like the first point that you picked up was how long do you plan on owning this on using this vehicle? I keep saying owning, it's using. How long do you plan on using
You're
this vehicle?
renting it. Lease is rent, guys. Listen, if you have any doubts, lease is rent.
Effectively,
it's just a nice
so if you're looking at a three-year period of using this car, and maybe you're leaving the country or changing
Some
jobs.
people get confused with lease and rent, as in you go into houses. When you lease a house, you pay the amount, you stay there as long as you want, and then when you're leaving, you get that entire amount back. Dude, this isn't that. This is you're paying a rent. That's just a nice term for lease. But then again, that's one question I want you to ponder at the back of your mind. The second one, are you having difficulty paying the initial deposit or what is called a down payment? Now listen guys, this is the catch that where if you had a down payment even for a leasing service, then nobody will want to lease a car. They have to have a USP, and that USP is basically this leasing service saying, listen, everything's fine. Imagine you don't have to pay a down payment. And then immediately everybody's eyes are on, oh, you know what, I don't have to pay 2 lakhs or 3 lakhs. I mean, for a Creta, you'd be the best person to tell me, what's the down payment for a Creta?
You'll have to pay, even if you're looking at 100% ex-showroom funding, you're looking at 2.5 lakhs of down payment.
But that's the minimum. If you're getting about, say, 100% ex-showroom.
Yeah.
Okay, but on average, everyone's getting about 80 to 90%?
Yeah, more or less, yes.
Okay, so I would say about roughly, is it safe to say 3 lakhs maybe?
Yeah.
Okay, so that is the major USP. If you're the kind of person who says, you know what, 3 lakhs down, and the moment I drive that car out of the showroom,
it's going to
33% is depreciated. If you're the kind of person, yes, it does make sense. The third point I would say is how much, and this is very important for me at least personally, how much are you planning to drive monthly?
Makes sense.
Yearly?
I was just going to.
Because please, you're making me feel really good here.
No. I mean, just to add to your
please
point.
Go ahead.
So leasing works just like maintenance. Right, so when you buy a car, you have 1 year or 10,000 kilometers, and then you have to pay, and then you have to maintain, right? Leasing is always just like maintenance, a time and distance model. Right?
Absolutely.
So it's You will always have a leasing package. Correct me if I'm wrong. You will have a 1 year or 15,000.
And you have to decide. You can't change that anytime you want.
You can't change it. You can't change it based
It's an
on
agreement.
It's
proper
it's,
agreement.
It's usually quite fixed, right? So if you are someone who likes to go on road trips quite often, if you're someone who drives say 3,000 kilometers a month,
like us,
leasing is not
like us.
Leasing
Imagine we leased a car, right? It wouldn't make any sense.
I don't want to bleed through my nose for that.
Yeah, but I want to give you data here and not just talk about it. Basically, the ALD Automotive, which is working with Hyundai's leasing program, they're allowing you for the 16,500 odd amount you will have to pay per month. They're allowing you up to 50,000 kilometers per year. That's it. I mean, that's going to fly off if you're the kind of person who loves driving, like us. If you're an automotive maniacs like us, then 50,000, I would say, okay. Now, here's the catch. 50,000, I don't think it's yearly. I think it's a 5-year period.
I don't think.
I will confirm that with you
it won't be yearly,
on the thread
Rajiv.
below.
It won't be an annual.
It's a 5-year thing. It's a 5-year package, and you can drive only 50,000, which means 10,000 kilometers a year.
A year.
I'm very sure about that, and that's what I read actually. So
correct.
Forgive me for that, but it's 5 years, 50,000.
Correct. So, but I also feel that leasing is also part of financial packaging, right? So, because most leasing, if not through the manufacturer, is going to be through your employer. So, if you're going to save tax because of leasing, because your lease amount gets deducted before your salary, right? So, you're looking at saving some amount of tax over there if you lease. Right.
But there are very few people who are giving a leasing option in a company.
Correct.
I think this works best for business people who want to say.
It works for most corporates when it comes to, big corporates, huge corporates. If you are in the highest income tax slab, then it might make sense for you. But of course, first point like that you mentioned, right? Remove the sense of ownership from the car, right? You are just the user of the car. You are not the owner of the car. And if just correct me if I'm wrong, Rajiv, because if you calculate EMIs versus possible loan EMI versus a possible lease per month, the lease per month is going to be significantly higher.
Okay.
Right. So and if you do the math about 4 years or 5 years of timeline, you're going to feel like you're spending so much on the car to use the car but not be able to own the car. That's the mind space you may want to come out of.
Yes, but having said that, I want to play the devil's advocate here, right?
Yeah.
And let's try to talk something nice about leasing. Meaning, I had something in mind. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's say I'm the kind of person who can't keep a car for more than 4 years. I want a new car every 4 years. I don't mind keeping. Now that leads me to I will quickly just bullet this out, these 3 questions. Do you want to change your car every 3 or 4 or 5 years? Are you ready to keep this cost as part of your monthly payments for as long as you are there on this earth? And how are you at upkeeping your car? Now, you might have to help me out with that. But then what I think is, if you're the kind of person who says, you know what, my company is taking care of this, and they're going to take a small amount, like you said, like you had mentioned, or I'm running a business and I need to show some tax expenses, all of that, leasing makes a lot of sense because first of all, service is also there in that.
True.
They're going to take care of their own
it's
car.
An all-in-one cost,
good thing is, since it's not your car, right? I'm sorry to say that in such a harsh way, but since it's not your car and it's the company's car, they're going to make sure that they're going to take care of that car and they're going to call you in the middle of the night. No, they're not.
Right.
And I'm just
Kidding,
saying,
no.
but listen, but be ready for that. They might call you and say, listen, how's my car? Get ready for that because that sense of ownership, that Vignesh is not going to be there. But then again, if you are the kind of person who's got all of it sorted out and say, you know what, every 4 years, 5 years, the moment this car gets old, I'm going to get a brand new car and they will make sure that they take this car. Okay, here's what's going to happen. They're going to take your car, which you paid for 4 years.
Yeah.
Rough, more or less, you would have paid about 12 or 13 lakhs for that car. They're going to sell it for 8 lakhs. And you're going to get all the money. No, you're not going to get all the money because your car was not yours to begin with. So they're going to give you a new car and then you start that cycle again.